Hey everyone, and welcome to the Stock Talk for January 24th. So after a long run in the S&P 500 towards the upside, we finally have a candle that is of concern and multiple candles that come up on multiple charts. I will talk about those charts in a moment, but we're going to start off with broad markets, S&P 500 on the daily time frame. Remember, we always talk about this in our group and to everyone out there as well, and that is we always let the charts tell the story, which means that, if we get some sort of candle like this, you can see this is a candle that encapsulates 5 of the previous days. Is that of concern in the short term? Absolutely yes. And this coincides with the rest of the markets falling. So that is concerning to me given our extended run up. But like I said, I like to get the markets tell the story first. The markets told our story today. And you can see the markets kept pushing higher. So if you shorted here, shorted here, shorted here, that's just guessing. But when you have a better signal, as what we see right now, there you go. So let me show you what's happening on some of the other indices. For example, here is NQ or /NQ NASDAQ 100 futures. Here's the type of candle that is formed today. This encapsulates the past 4 days. This is of concern in the short term. These type of candles showed up on several chart patterns. Some of the chart patterns, such as the IWM or the small caps, for example, let me show you the IWM. As you can see, made a peak a few days ago before coming down. And you can see, actually, you can see this better on RTY, which is the small caps futures. You can see this overbearing candle that came on December 27th. It made another run up before that slide lower. So these charts, because these charts are all moving in synchrony, and that's important, that is why it is pointing towards a short-term line of caution. And therefore, I want to point out on the weekly time frame for SPY that the parabolic move that we had mentioned had stalled, right? It looks like we're consolidating at this present time period, but consolidation or even a move in the downward direction temporarily can result in quite a bit of panic and even a VIX spike. So from where we are right now, okay, we're closed at the end of the day on Friday, giving everyone a mental preparation of what might potentially come, is our move down towards our weekly 20 period moving average, would constitute a 4.4% move. If this is significant or more significant, when we can get a move of 6%, and this would take us down to our initial breakout area. And it could certainly exceed that a little bit more, 6 to 7%, before we find support. But again, our group is monitoring this day by day. Once again, we do bull bear, which tracks the daily moves of the S&P 500 broad markets and all the other indices. And when that flips to bear, we certainly point towards a point of caution. So here we are right now. Giving you a mental preparation. Let me just show you the 20 period moving average. I'm going to mark it on this chart. Your 20 period moving average, as you have it right now, is around 315. And then we also have our support line down here. If you take a look at the daily time frame, this is where your first level support is, 315.19, should we get an extended down move. So if this was a start of the move, this could be where we end, find support, and this is also another level of potential support. So just some concerning chart patterns at the moment. Finally, I do want to tackle the VIX or the volatility index. If you look at this chart pattern for the VIX, and I want to point this out, is can you see this lower high line for the VIX? We eventually broke out, and then we had a significant VIX spike towards the levels of 23 and 24. Interestingly enough, we're in a similar scenario now. We're at resistance, but this should the VIX break out and should broad markets continue lower, this could result in a VIX spike into the higher ranges of the VIX. So that would correlate with a significant decline in broad markets. So once again, we're going to take this day by day, but this is a bearish technical setup in the short term, and therefore I want to point that out. And once again, like I said, I'm not always bullish, but when I see the signal, I will point to a word of caution. That's it for this video. Short and sweet. Talk to everyone soon.